For years, the UFC has looked for a huge star for the European market, and it looks like they may have found one. Welcome into MMA Live Extra. I'm Jim Baswell. Conor McGregor has only stepped inside the octagon 3 times, but he's already made a huge impact, main eventing a card in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. Ahead of his fight with Dustin Poirier at UFC 178, Conor joins us here on MMA Live Extra. Conor, we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule.
Thank you for having me.
You're looking good these days, Conor. Before we get into your next fight during the media day brawl between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, you were seen taking selfies with fans. It didn't seem you were concerned with the scrum going on just a few feet from you, were you?
You know, this is the fight business, and I relish it as a fan of the game to be a part of that monumentous occasion. That was 2 emotional men, highly charged emotional men that have a lot on the line, and to see them go at it, you know, it was real and it was raw. It was as real as it gets, as the UFC motto is. So I was enjoying myself, and there were some fans there. They wanted some selfies. You know, I am comfortable. I felt safe. I was in no danger. You know, so I took some selfies. I looked good. I wanted to take some selfies with the fans.
How about you and your own opponent, Dustin Poirier? You got into an intense stare down as well. Was this just the traditional pre-fight stare down, or was there a real beef between the two of you?
Well, you know, I felt he was timid, if I'm being honest. You know, he's a quiet guy, to be honest. He's a little hillbilly kid from a circus town in the back arse of nowhere. You know, so he's a quiet kid. I've nothing against him. We went head to head. He felt timid, he felt afraid, so we left it at that. I just carried on. You know, this is a professional business. We came head to head. He backed away, he was afraid, and then we posed. And then, of course, Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier stepped up. They went head to head. Daniel grabbed Jon by the throat. You know, you don't grab a man by the throat. You grab a man by the throat, you best believe it's on right there and then. Yeah. And that's what happened. You know, so that was that. This is the fight business. These face-offs happen every day.
Hey, you know, you've known to been talking a little trash in your time about your opponents leading up to a fight. How important is it, though, to get the mental edge on your opponent before you stepped in the octagon? Yeah,
I don't really think about that. You know, I just in my eyes I just speak the truth. I don't talk trash. I speak the truth. I've spoken about Dustin's weirdly shaped head. He has a P-shaped head. It's an oddly shaped head, and I believe that's a fact. I've also spoken about his skill level, that it has stagnated, if not dropped, throughout his last few fights. His chin has certainly deteriorated. Every single contest he is in, he gets wobbled. You know, he does the chicken dance on a jab. You know, so to come in against a guy like me, you know, I'm going to crack him early, and he's going to be tasting canvas pretty early in the contest.
Give us a feel for this. How big a following is there with your fans in Dublin?
It's phenomenal in Dublin. You know, I cannot go anywhere in my hometown. You know, there's murals on the side of buildings with my pretty face painted on these big murals on the side of buildings. It's phenomenal. But I heard earlier on you said the UFC were looking for a big European star for the European market, and it looks like they have found one. But make no mistake about it, I am bigger than just the European market. I am taking over the UFC period. You know, I'm going to get that belt by the end of the year and stake my dominance. You know, I'm looking for Hall of Fame here. I'm not just looking to be a poster boy for the European market. If I was just a poster boy for the European market, why would I be over here in Vegas, co-main or co-main on the biggest, on one of the biggest cards of the year, if not the biggest card of the year? You know, they know who brings in the numbers. The numbers don't lie. It was the highest. UFC Dublin was the highest highest recorded watched fight pass event in UFC history. It was the highest rated, highest watched show on terrestrial TV in Ireland.
What was your first experience like with Dana White?
My first experience with Dana White, well, when I was 16 years old, I was at my first UFC event as a fan, and I ran there after the events. Dana stays and takes pictures with the fans, and I ran down to the railings, and I seen Dana. I was like, Dana, and he looked at me. I was like, how much money have you got in your pocket right now, this second? And he looked at me with like a weird face, and then just kind of walked off. So I don't think he liked that too much, but it was fun. I was just a little kid. Dreaming of the big time, you know what I mean? But then my first time meeting him when I signed to the UFC was at UFC Sweden, and he's a cool man. Himself and Lorenzo, you know, these are 2 of the coolest men in the game. They are they have changed the face of the fight industry. You know, I am honored to be here and be a part of their great promotion. And I'm looking to climb the ranks and be the poster boy for this promotion.
Hey, I'm just curious, did you ever remind Dana of that first experience, first exchange?
No, I actually have. I don't think I have said it. Maybe I have. I can't recall, but that was my first experience with him. I'm sure he'll hear about it. Now, he probably won't remember, but I'm sure he'll laugh.
Conor, let's go back to your fight with Poirier at UFC 178. It'll be your first time fighting in Las Vegas. It's also your first test against a top 5 opponent. How do you plan on attacking him?
You know, it is my first time in Las Vegas, and it's a joyous occasion. Everybody should get on their hands. Everyone should get on their feet and raise their hands in this joyous occasion. The fighting capital of the world is going to see a true fighting Irishman. You know, the first time in history, the fighting capital is going to lay eyes on the great fighting Irishman. It's an occasion to celebrate. As far as a top 5 opponent, you know, I don't care about rankings. In my mind, I am number 1, pound for pound. So, how I will approach the fight, I told you how I'll approach the fight. I believe we will come out, we will exchange. I'll catch him with a jab, or maybe a gust of wind. I don't know, his chin is weak. A gust of wind could make him do the chicken dance. And then the second or third exchange, I believe he hits the deck and exit. Raise my hand and exit. You know, hit. I might hit the Red Rock, Mr. Fertitta's phenomenal casino. I might toast a whiskey in Mr. Fertitta's casino, the Red Rock, post-event, and just celebrate the good life.
That's UFC featherweight Conor McGregor. Hey, Conor, it's been awfully entertaining. Pleasure to meet you, and best of luck on September 27th.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of MMA Live Extra. For Conor McGregor and all things UFC 178, keep it locked right here to the MMM page right here on ESPN.com. I'm Jim Basketball. Thanks for watching.